Welcome back to Advocation X and your host Clyde. Today we have quite the topic for you, but before we begin, I'd like you to hit that like button, subscribe, crush that bell, don't miss anything going forward, and if you can, become a member. Help this channel move forward. Let's begin with our topic for today. Clyde has friends on the force because all of Southern Ontario at one time was kind of my territory for security in the nightclubs and events going on all across the region. Okay? The Niagara region, the Hamilton region, the Toronto region, Burlington, Brantford, all of these locations. I was involved in helping with about 70 different contracts. I started my time in the nightclub and event security field way back when I was a teenager. I wasn't directly employed by a bar, I was employed by guys who were employed by the bar. And I was given very specific directions as to how to do my job. A series of those instructions were this. Situation arises. In order to prove your worth, it has to be efficient, quick, and complete. That means the person has to be subdued, removed, and gone quickly so I can get back to the job without being hurt. Okay, so that was my introduction to the field. And let me say I took the instructions to heart. I'm not proud of that. Not proud of that at all. However, many of those on the force would come by, open up the dumpster, and pull a guy out and take him off to jail. Sounds harsh, eh? Yeah, it was. But you know what happens in these scenarios most times? People look at that individual while the event is going on and they say, that guy's dangerous. He needs to go. Get him out of here by all means, whatever means necessary. And he gets beaten up pretty badly to the point where he's fairly unconscious. And he gets dumped into a dumpster behind the club. And the police come fish him out and take him to jail, charge him, and he goes through all kinds of trials and tribulations in his world. Now, we don't know that because at the time, all we know is that we're doing a job and we're doing what we're told to do. That guy is somebody's son, maybe somebody's brother, maybe somebody's father, cousin, uncle. There are people that love that individual and are now going to visit him, broken and beaten, sitting in a jail cell, pleading for help to get out. And then some of his family is going, you got what you deserved. You need to get your temper under control. You know what? I hope you go away for a long time. And there's other members of the family who are going, we're going to do everything we can to get you out of there. And you know what? We're going to try to get you some help for your temper because it keeps getting you into trouble and we don't want you in trouble. So we're going to scramble together. We're going to get you a bail. We're going to get you out of there. And then we're going to take you right to a place where you can get some help. And there are others who just fawn on them and give them anything they need, which we would call enablers. If you give that guy a human face, is it still that easy for you to judge him and say, who cares what happened to him? Because he was causing problem in a nightclub where alcohol is served, which alters people's state and their ability to discern right from wrong? Oh, I know there's some of you perfect people out there right now going, well, I can drink and I never get violent. I'm always a gentleman or a gentle lady or a perfect person. Bullshit. Bullshit. Yes, there are some of us who can drink and are almost always jolly and happy and really accommodating and having a wonderful time. But if you're repeatedly going out to bars and drinking, I don't think you have a perfect track record. Again, disclaimer, I may be wrong. It's only my opinion. I'm not an authority on people drinking. Oh, maybe I might be a little bit since I've worked in the bars for about 40 years in event security, and yeah, very few people have not come across my radar. And I mean, ever in the entire time I was working. There are times when really fantastic clients get into it with another individual. You see their tempers flare. But luckily, most times I'm able to get there before anything gets right out of hand. And you know what's terrible? Is usually that good client is the one who gets to stay because the manager says, no, they're fine. Leave them alone. Take that other one out. And I know you're sitting there going, well, that's what I would do. No, it's not fair. It's not fair. If you're having an argument with me in the bar and I know the manager, you get kicked out and I get to stay and you think that's fair? No, it's not fair. Yeah, but they're a good client. I mean, they've never done this before. Probably they have. They may not have been found out. They may have resolved it on their own quickly, which is great. All those scenarios are great. But folks, stop being so judgy. So what did I do when I started my own business? I had tons of friends on the force, and they used to come in all the time. And when we had difficulty, they handled it like gentlemen and gentle ladies. I was very, very proud of them. Do you know there are times, and again, if any of you police officers are watching that can testify to what I'm about to say right now, please put some comments in there. If I'm lying, if there's any of you police officers out there who can prove that I'm lying or even believe that I'm lying, go ahead, please put some comments in there and let me know what you think and why. I personally, and many of my members of my teams, have stopped you police officers from losing your guns and getting shot by your own gun. Many opportunities we have had to stop single police officers who respond to a scene from being beaten into the ground by a group of individuals. Getting the picture? Do you see why I have friends on the force? We have always been there to respect each and every person under our umbrella. I don't care if you're a police officer, you're a security guard, you're a bouncer, you're a patron, you're an aggressor, you're a bartender, I don't care who you are. I will treat you with the same respect I treat every single person that comes in front of me, to the best of my ability at the time. Any of you who are watching who can testify to this or against this, you think I'm a liar? Those of you who know, put down how many times you've watched me be called every name in the book, and even had people put their hand on me, whether it be poking me in the chest or pushing me off by my shoulder, or whatever the case may be. I'll leave it to you to describe how I handle those situations. And then there are those other ones where somebody throws a punch and lands. And there are those of you who can testify to this one. Outside of an establishment, I have people yelling and screaming at me, calling me all kinds of names because I've kicked them out. And I stay calm and I just tell them to go home and maybe come back another time and we can discuss it. And they don't. They keep saying all kinds of stuff and yelling all kinds of names and doing all that stuff. And then people around start going, why don't you clock this guy? Why do you let him? And I tell them, it's not my job. I just want them to go home in one piece and come back another time when maybe they're a little more together. And then a guy beside looked at the guy and said, man, why are you saying these things? And the guy turned to him and punched him. One hard punch. The guy went out cold immediately. He fell between the wall and the sausage cart. He fell over the hitch connection. So immediately I went down to pick him up. And I took a punch in the face. So I'll show you what I did. Try to follow this. Boom! And I went down to help the guy again. Boom! And I said, that's it. You have one last chance. I went down to pick him up again. Boom! I got hit again. I came up. Boom! That was the end of him. And I picked up the guy from behind the sausage cart and we took him inside to help him. So those of you who are there, please do, by all means, comment. Tell me if I'm lying. That's the way I run my life. Not that I always let people hit me, no. Sometimes you throw a punch and my punch comes out really fast. Sometimes you throw a punch and miss, and I might make sure that you don't get a chance to throw another punch again. I never initiate a fight with anybody. I don't initiate fights with anybody. I don't go up and bully people just for the sake of bullying. I just can't do it. I told you that to let you know that many, many times we have protected police officers, saved their lives in the line of their duty. So yeah, we have a lot. I'll give you an example. And again, I'm not going to mention any names because names get people in trouble. We happened to have an establishment where a large-scale problem was going on. And again, many of my security people will probably see this video and they'll be able to attest to exactly what I'm telling you. And if anybody thinks I'm lying, please, by all means, in the comments, I don't mind whether you're for or against, let me know. We run to this establishment to take care and make sure that our individuals, our partners, our team members are safe. And a huge scale brawl breaks out. Huge scale. And as I'm looking around at what's going on and taking care of individuals myself, I see that my people are doing exactly as we've been trained to do. That is, lock them up, take them down, take them out of the threat zone. Okay? Not punch them out, not kick them out. No, lock them up, take them down, take them out of the threat zone so they can no longer be a threat to anybody around them or themselves. And while I'm holding one, I got an individual who's trying to kick me in the face. And again, I'm not mentioning any names. Anyway, I didn't get kicked in the face. So I got up after a bit and I told the individuals what I thought of them. And then I was told that one of our guys was missing, and I went looking for him. As I'm looking around for him to wonder where the hang did he go? Is he out cold behind a bush somewhere? Did somebody drag him off and, give him a bad beating? And I passed some individuals on the street. They happened to be part of the same group. They must have just escaped the area and then decided, oops, maybe we should go back. They jumped me. They jumped me and I was defending myself and I was doing pretty good. But thank God, a couple of my team members were wondering, where did he go? Where's Clyde? They came around the corner and they took two of the people that were on me off. And then I just had the one in front of me. And of course their thought was, yeah, we just want to keep it one-on-one. And the guy said, yeah, me and you, let's go one-on-one. Okay, let's skip ahead. Police are called, police come around the corner, they grab me, they put me in handcuffs and in the back of the car. And I apologized to the police. As I said, I think I went way overboard. I definitely got out of hand. It was self-defense, but I went too far. And I admitted that to them. Because I don't really know how to lie. I can joke. I joke a lot. Don't really know how to lie. When it's consequential, the truth will always come out. I'm sitting in the back there getting ready to get taken to jail and get charged and go through all kinds of stuff. And more and more police are arriving because they realize that the problem is much bigger than just what happened there on the street. And some of those officers recognized me and they came over to the car and they went, "What are you doing in here?" And I said, I apologize. I went too far. It started off as self-defense, but I got a little bit over-aggressive at the end of it. He said, "So you didn't start it?" I said, No, I was going to look for one of my guys that was missing, and I got jumped by 3 guys, but I went a little bit too berserk. He looks at his partners and he goes, "Get him out of there right now. Get those cuffs off him right now." And they did. Took the cuffs off me and let me head out. The shirt that I was wearing was enshrined and put on the wall of our training facility because it was in bad shape. It was not a very nice scenario that transpired. But just so you know, I had friends on the force. And it wasn't that they did me a special favor that they shouldn't have. It's that they understood compassion and truth, honesty. And they did what they were allowed to do. That was exercise their discretion. Their discretion told them that it would be unfair for me to go through all of that based on the fact that I was protecting myself while looking for somebody who I was afraid might have been injured or worse. So if you wonder why I say I have friends on the force, this is a good reason why. I worked in many establishments where all police officers used to frequent after their shifts. I got to know so many really good officers. But there are some, and they'll tell you themselves, about 10% of them are total a-holes. 10%! So if you're in a group of 10 police officers, you could be in the vicinity of one pig. Maybe not, and maybe in the next group of 20, there might be 3 pigs, which makes up for the one group of 10 that had 0. So I'm not painting every police officer with the same brush at all. They're not all good, they're not all bad. They're not all great, and they're not all absolute pigs or a-holes. But there is a percentage, and that percentage is too high for my liking. Many of the guys who used to work for me are now police officers, and the references they got from me, I pray and hope were very influential in getting them the jobs. But I have confidence that those people who left from my teams to become police officers were amazing police officers, are probably well decorated and probably well respected and loved in the communities they work in. That's the kind of people I think are great cops. Not everybody has to be a great cop. You can't go above and beyond all the time. You could get yourself very hurt. But it's always good to have those sprinkled in great cops. This video is to set the stage for the next one coming up. And I want you to understand, I am a cop supporter. I wasn't always. We had an environment growing up in Montreal where we were always told that the cops were absolute pigs and a-holes and not to be respected in any way, shape, or form. We never talked to the police. It didn't matter if we saw our own mothers shot dead right beside us. We handled those on our own. We didn't call the police. We didn't deal with them. So needless to say that my opinion of police has evolved over the years. It's become more objective. It's become more tolerant, more understanding, and more of the realization that they're not all bad. I do support the police. I do. So folks, please hit that like button, subscribe, become a member, crush that bell. Don't miss anything going forward. And you know what? I want you to understand something. Because you're one of my beautiful thinking people, we never give up and we never give in, but we'll always keep an open mind, because that's where we gather our knowledge, and knowledge is the only power that we really have in this world, and we're not giving up our power. Do me a favor, stay safe, stay healthy, and beyond all else, stay as happy as humanly possible.